So I wake up on Singles Awareness Day, otherwise known as Valentine's Day, with my phone being blown up. I thought, somebody realized what they were missing out on. They were just blowing me up in the morning talking about Happy Valentine's Day. But it turns out it was some Fantastic Four news, and it looks pretty promising. Oh boy! Yeah! I've never been the biggest Fantastic Four fan. They've always just been okay to me, and the behind the scenes stuff that was happening with this movie just did not make me feel fantastic about the movie, no pun intended. I just feel like they announced this way too early. We were getting news like them changing writers every month or so, and they were changing a director just because the director didn't fit what they were going for. And the rumors for this movie were just insane. People were literally just making things up in their heads so they can form their own movie that they wanted to see, which is not a bad thing because it did take them about 4 years to actually announce the cast because they were not ready to even announce this movie. But now that we officially got the cast, I can say that it's not all that bad.
It's alright. I had better at the school cafeteria.
I mean, Vanessa Kirby looks fine to be Sue Storm. Cousin was a fantastic pick for Ben Grimm. I mean, it can't get any better than that. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm isn't that bad to me, but a lot of people seem to have a problem with the casting because he seems kind of facially challenged is the word that a lot of people like to throw around. I don't really know how to say it. People just think he's butt ugly, and Johnny Storm needs to be not that. I feel like Joseph Quinn can pull it off. I don't think it's that hard for him to pull off, but someone in this cast I do feel will have a hard time is Pedro Pascal. He's a great actor, but I do not see any form of Reed in him. Reed to me is a prick, sometimes an asshole, but he doesn't mean to be. He's just too absorbed in his work, and that's what leads to him being a bad friend, a bad husband, sometimes a bad dad. It's just how it goes. But Pedro Pascal, it looks like they're casting for a dad, and he's been playing a dad in multiple movies. I think that's what they're going towards, and he is a very highly acclaimed actor. I wouldn't say he's a movie star per se, but he has a pretty good fan base, and I think they really want to bring that fan base to Marvel. Now, the castings is not what made me excited this morning when they were announcing this stuff. It was the fact that they seemingly announced that it will be set in the 1960s, specifically 1963. Now, a lot of people will say that doesn't make sense in the timeline because you just haven't seen the timeline yet. We haven't really been in the 60s that much. We were in the 40s with Cap, then we were in the 90s with Captain Marvel. Who's to say that they weren't in the 60s and being some pretty cool 60s type of heroes, and then they get trapped in the negative zone or something? I always thought that the 60s would be a cool place to put the Fantastic Four because not only would that confirm they're the first family of Marvel, it would also set a precedent that they're setting a new type of tone in the MCU. Because when you're doing period movies, you're trying to set a certain vibe that I think the Fantastic Four will benefit the most from. I mean, we can see it from the movie that they inspired but are going to end up being inspired from, being The Incredibles, as they were set in the 60s or 50s, old type of heroes, but it's just a new spin on it. I mean, I think you can understand now why I really wanted the Fantastic Four to be set in the 60s, because The Incredibles were my favorite Pixar movie, and just seeing that brought into live action would be really fun to see. But I don't want The Incredibles, I just want the Fantastic Four because I don't need them messing up The Incredibles. I would also like if they brought Michael Giacchino to compose the soundtrack for this movie, but beggars can't be choosers. So I'm just happy that we have the announcement for the Fantastic Four. They have the right mindset for this movie, and I feel like if they don't have any more delays, this movie might turn out to be one of the good things coming from Marvel next year.
Hold up. Wait a minute, something ain't right.
Okay, I see what Marvel's trying to do. They trying to play with the big dogs. We releasing a Superman movie and you want to release Fantastic Four right next to it? Okay. I want you to bring Fantastic Four up to July 11th. I want you to compete with them the same way Barbie and Oppenheimer competed. It's only good for the genre, right? I want you to go compete with Superman. Don't release 2 weeks after. Don't be a coward. Move it up, please. But yeah, what do you think about the Fantastic Four and all the news we just got for it? Not a lot of people were talking about it because it was so anticipated, but now we finally got it. We got the full cast, we got the time it's set in, and we even got the new release date that's next to Superman Legacy. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, and yeah, have a good day.